They call him the slant-eyed giant. The ridges still remember his footsteps. In Cherokee oral history, Tsul Kalu, also transcribed Tsul Kalu, Tuli Kula, and Judakala, is a well-known person who is typically depicted as a slant-eyed giant and a strong spirit connected to the southern Appalachian Mountains' high ridges and hunting areas. Numerous Cherokee place names in the area retain the Tsul Sune root. The name literally means slanting or sloping eyes, and is associated with a location called Tsunagunyi, which is traditionally situated on or close to Tennessee Bald in western North Carolina. Tsul Kalu's interactions with people are described in a well-known Cherokee tale found in 19th century ethnography. In one version, he is the great lord of the game who must be acknowledged in hunting rites. In another, he takes a Cherokee maiden as wife, is offended by a betrayed trust, and then becomes invisible while his power is still evident. The massive soapstone boulder known as Judakala Rock, which is carved with hundreds of petroglyphs in western North Carolina, is traditionally linked to Tsul Kalu in local legend. Tales link the giant's presence or activities to the rock's peculiar marks and territorial significance, making the location a subject of both archaeological curiosity and living memory. Tsul Kalu serves as a boundary and game spirit in Cherokee mythology, regulating hunting, serving as a warning against disrespecting the land, and designating locations where deep landscape power and human activity converge. Outside of scholarly settings, he also appears in contemporary retellings as a local cryptid or giant figure in Appalachian folklore. For responsible use, check Cherokee sources and current tribe scholarship to prevent misrepresentation and to respect living cultural meaning. The majority of published English narratives originate from early collectors and later popular writers. Dawn thins into a cold silver half-light on Tennessee Bald. The hunters move slow, boots sinking in moss. The dogs grow uneasy, ears flat and bodies taut. From the ridge beyond comes a single resonant crack like an old tree splitting, followed by the press of a presence that seems to make the air heavier. In the dim, a silhouette larger than any man stands just past the laurel line, shoulders broad, head tilted with an odd slant to the face. And when one of the hunters lifts a hand, the dogs whine and back away as if something has named them. The silhouette does not step forward. Instead, the air vibrates with low sounds and the scent of crushed earth. And then the form simply thins, like smoke drawn through twig and root, leaving enormous crescent gouges in soft soil and a scattering of crushed heather where no foot should have pressed. Indications and sensory information. Visual, sporadic glances of enormous size. The eyes are traditionally described as sloping or slanted, a trait that people remember even when the figure is only partially visible. A deep, resonant hum that frightens both humans and animals, low, thunderous footsteps, or a tree-splitting crack. Material traces include enormous scrapes on trees and the ground, odd rock configurations, or stones connected to petroglyphs in locations connected to the entity. Witnesses frequently leave the location feeling both respectful and uneasy because each of these signals is seen in local memory as proof of an encounter rather than a clear sighting. Rarely is an encounter interpreted as just a monster sighting. In Cherokee stories, Tsul Kalu serves as a boundary spirit associated with hunting rituals and landscape ethics, as well as a great lord of the game. Therefore, encounters might be described as tests, penalties, or infrequent interventions on behalf of hunters who follow correct ritual practice. They also frequently convey moral force, warnings about respect for locations and rules. After delivering its message, the creature retreats, leaving only the strange gouges as evidence, game returning to the woods and dogs calming. Alternatively, the hunters observe a fast or leave offerings, and depending on how the narrative is narrated, the hunter's luck shifts to either better game or a protracted disaster. Stories place more emphasis on the creature's ability to influence fate than on its eventual capture or defeat. Any experience with Tsul Kalu should not be viewed as a generic cryptid tale, but rather as a part of contemporary Cherokee cosmology and landscape memory. When modifying or publishing encounter narratives, give due credit to tribal knowledge, refrain from creating sacred practices, and give priority to working with Cherokee communities. Tsul Kalu watches from the ridges. The mountain keeps its counsel. Tsul Kalu watches from the ridges. The mountain keeps its counsel.